Disney, who was a little nervous. There's one of the issues was the first three movies had all kinds of issues. They looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans. So I said, all I want to do is tell a story of what happened. It started here and it went there. And it's all about generations and it's about, the issues of fathers and sons and grandfathers. And it's a family soap opera.
Hey fellow nerds, welcome back, Megavanen, to another episode of the Fellowship of the Nerds. I am your host, as always, Luke Skywalker. Today I have a very interesting review. This is not lightsabers, but I promise you this is definitely a quintessential thing for Star Wars fans. What I mean by this, I know that lightsabers are the cool things, but we wouldn't be where we are at as a fandom and as fans of Star Wars in this case if we didn't have obviously the source materials, the movies and all the universe that George Lucas created. And all of that was compiled on the Star Wars archive, which are these ridiculous books. These are incredibly heavy and big. There's one for the prequels and one for the original series. I'm not entirely sure why there's no one for the sequels, because yes, I get it, not a lot of people like them, but it kind of makes sense that if you have another trilogy, you should put one of these out anyways. But in any case, what we're going to do this time around is we're going to unwrap these. I'm going to show you the contents, and I'm going to remind you that you can buy the more user-friendly, if you will, variants of this, which is essentially the nightstand versions, which are around half the width, but has all the contents of these books. You can win them with the giveaway that we have right now, which lasts until Valentine's of 2026. So if you want more information, something should be coming around this side of the screen, I think, or if not, on the description below, you'll be able to find the video that you need to go to enter the giveaway. Remember, it's open to pretty much anywhere that you're in the world, so as long as I'm legally allowed to ship stuff there, you can be a winner. So go and check that video out. Now with these, let's open these two up because these two are amazing.
May the force be with you, Padawan.
Okay, so we have here, this is the original trilogy. So these are episodes 4 to 6, 77 to 83. Now we're going to unwrap this, but to do that, it's just as simple as we're going to get just a normal set of scissors. You're going to cut and really easy peasy. These books are really heavy, so this is sort of part of the reason, and there's actually a very good reason, why I'm giving away the smaller versions, which again do have the exact same content. It's just that the pages are shorter, but it's just that these are heavy, and to post something this heavy in this bulk, it would be a nightmare. Also, this is not something that you can put on your nightstand, to have some light reading before you go to bed. So yeah. Anyways, here we are. And let me get closer to the screen. Open these. These are phenomenal. The Star Wars. And forward, which we're not gonna stop to read here. Story about George Lucas and coming up with the mythology and the ideas for Star Wars. American Zoetrope and pretty much everything that brought Star Wars to life. THX, American Graffiti. First concepts that we've ever seen. Where have we seen this guy, or a guy very similar to this, in Star Wars after these concepts? It's amazing how Dave Filoni went back to a lot of this to, when he was creating his universe with Clone Wars and especially Rebels, to, have something I was very still faithful to the original idea. So here we go, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. This is just, look how the way the scrolls were done with the retro projecting of the crawl. These are phenomenal, guys. Let me just fast forward a little bit here. Look at that. Yeah, concept art. I think we all have seen this. This is incredible. These books are phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. These books are, I would say, quintessential to any Star Wars fan. They have so much information and you know, backstories and behind the scenes tidbits and obviously images. They're just so incredibly worth it. Now, put this one away and let's bring out the prequels. And again, we're just going to unwrap these, so we're just going to very carefully. There we go. Put these away. Now, I'm not entirely sure if you're going to be able to appreciate this on camera, but these books are so cool that this is the boss. This, so like you can totally feel the texture of it as you slide through. Again, really cool. It's so heavy, it's hard to operate. The open, the counter cover is the same. Star Wars Archives for the prequels. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Forward, and then we have more. Obviously, we start with the special edition, so we still are talking about the original trilogy a little bit at the start here. I mean, I'm old enough not to remember seeing the original trilogy on the cinema, because for most of it, I wasn't even born. But I do remember when the special editions came out, and for me, it was like, oh my god, it's Star Wars in the cinema, something that I've never was able to do. But thanks to that, that really tested the ground for, okay, we're going to do episodes 1, 2, 3. What can we do? What is it like? We all know that George was blown away by the technology from Jurassic Park, what Spielberg had done, what ILM had done with that movie, and he thought, okay, now's the time for me to go back to Star Wars. And the special editions were a way of like testing the waters in a way. And also seeing what interest there was for Star Wars, because, I mean, at that point, if there was truly interest in Star Wars, it was theoretically, in paper, yes, but, like, until you put the product out there, you really can't know for sure. So it was a way, a soft way to seeing, well, you know, will someone show up? And they did. And that led to the prequels, and look at this. This is, let me fast forward a little bit. Look at that. These are incredibly useful. Oh, I remember owning a book of the Arc of Phantom Menace, and the cover was this image. The dog chain. That was that's one that I've never forgotten. Let's fast forward a little bit. Get some. There we go. Some episode 2. You know what's really funny? Something I realized about this character, the assassin that Jango Fett hires. This is Darth Sidious wanting to get rid of Padme, obviously not wanting to do himself, telling Dooku, who then hires Jango, who then hires an assassin, who then sends a robot, who then sends some bugs. You know, that's just the and. While everybody's focused on chasing the assassin, which could have meant that Jango just like walked in and killed Padme and ta-da! No, he focuses on following the assassin to silence them. So, I the only one that's ever thought that? Because that just like seems like a glaring thing on the whole notion. But still, look at this. I love that there's the Django's. Well, at that point, it's obviously Django's ship. I'm not entirely sure if it has. Well, is Django's? Does it still have the original name? I don't know. But yeah, pretty impressive. Like, look, guys. Bottom line, these books are incredibly heavy, but they're incredibly insightful and useful if you're a Star Wars fan. Now, if you're a Star Wars fan, remember that we have this giveaway of these editions. You go to the video that'll be on the description, you'll be able to have a chance to win in these. These inside, content-wise, they have the exact same thing, but obviously they're half the size. So that is a good thing because those are incredibly heavy. And like I said, you really couldn't put that on your night table, but this you can, and this would make nice bedtime reading. So enter now, go to that giveaway for your chance to win one of these. Having said that, that's all from me on this video. These books are 110% recommended if you can get them. I do not know if there's any plans to do sequels, but these are out there. Actually, the Prequels one was re-released recently, so you can still you can easily get them. They're available on Amazon and multiple retailers, so you shouldn't have an issue of getting them. Prices vary. I've seen them going for up to £150, whatever that is in your currency, down to 50. So look up between retailers because there's bound to be one that will be cheaper and will make more sense for you and your economy, obviously. But these are a must for fans. So by all means, go get them, find them, buy them, love them because they're incredibly filled with trivia and behind the scenes and everything. Or go to the giveaway for your chance to win the exact same thing, only in a more affordable size, directly from us at the Fellowship of the Nerds. That's all from me, nerds. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a silly comment for the algorithm, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're already subscribing, thank you very much for joining our fellowship. That means a lot to me and everybody that helps to make these videos. Until the next time, nerds, I've been your host, Luke Skywalker, and I will remind you that the Force will be with you, always. Remember to live long and prosper. May the odds be ever in your favor. See you around, nerds.